ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Emerald County. Today, there have been quite a few changes to Emerald City. This is it! This is Emerald. It's not really Emerald City. This is a new intersection that I decided to add into a section of the highway. I'm also noticing that that section of train line is possibly a little bit too low. So we might want to come back and fix that, but I want to show you what I've changed in Emerald City, because it's quite substantial. So the camera's slowly panning up. This is a new roundabout that comes off of that new intersection. There are some traffic problems because most people are deciding to use this. And you might remember that once upon a time, there was an industrial space to the right of this area. Well, that industrial space is gone because I really didn't like it. And I've replaced it with a roundabout and some highway. You might also notice some other things are missing, such as almost every single skyscraper that I placed for the high-rise highway. The reason being that a few people, and I mean a few, a small number of people mentioned that they kind of didn't like the design of Emerald City, and that has stuck with me. Also, that's the end of the camera move. But that has stuck with me. And maybe it shouldn't, maybe I'm overreacting, maybe we don't need to change everything, but I'm gonna change everything because I think I can do better. I agree with the people that said that this isn't as beautiful as it could be, so I've stripped all of this out. And today, the job and the task at hand are quite simply build it beautiful. This episode is not sponsored by Squarespace, but if they want to sponsor this episode, they are more than welcome to. So ladies and gentlemen, once again, we are building the high-rise highway. We're going to be looking at a new industrial space as well, because I have got some new industrial assets that I really want to play with, and we're going to finalize whatever this looks like. We're not going to be touching high-rise highway again. I also want to look at this space and eventually move the nuclear power plant because it's not in a great spot. So, let's go ahead and get to planning. So this is an entrance to the city, which is used fairly well. It's used fairly regularly, so I think we'll keep this. This road here going down the mill has a tram line on it. Honestly, I reckon we could maybe upgrade that road to... Oh, no, we can't because the tram lines only exist on that road. Okay. Maybe we want to look into perhaps changing up the tram lines a little bit. And instead of having the trams run along the road, they could maybe run between the buildings. That's always an option. So what I'm thinking there is if we come in here, we turn on snapping, and I raise a tram line up to 12 meters there, we can have it come along here because it will work. It can go along there to about that point. Let's say we'll go to about there. And if I do the same sort of here as well, and sort of do that, link those together, and that is a bit of a sharp turn, but it's okay. So the trams can now sort of go behind any buildings here. Get rid of these trees because they're sort of in my way at the moment. So go ahead and pull all of those out of there. We can have the tram line sort of, I reckon, continue across here. So to that point and to that point. Then it is going to need to drop again because it needs to come down here. So what we'll do is come to about there. Then we'll turn on, make sure zoning's on, make sure this is on. Apparently it's going to be a little bit of a pain, so we'll use an actual road for this up to that point. And we'll go ahead and do that. So, that does give us a connection for the tram lines to use to get back this way, because I do obviously want them to... Or do I want them on that road? Because that might actually be better if I get rid of this and get rid of all of this. Then just bring it across, because that way the tram lines are sort of exclusively above the roads and between the buildings and all that stuff. So that way it can actually loop around and do its thing. The only downside is they don't have any connections for pedestrians to walk off of these, so I don't quite know how that's going to work. We'll have to look into it. But let's see. If I get rid of that and get rid of those trees as well, and we sort of go like that, is that possible? No, because of the connection to the left, apparently. Okay. So what if we lower it? That would work. So if I get rid of that path, we bring this back a little bit, get rid of some more trees, and we do this sort of thing. So go to about there, then go down. We want to go to about there, and that connects straight on, which is perfect. Okay. So that's going to stay as a tram road. This is now going to be changed a little bit to be... It's still going to be a 4-lane road because it doesn't really make sense to go 6-lane. But if we do this, we can completely change it up, make it a little bit more open, not have trams going down it and all that stuff. It does limit the trams going this way, but that's okay. We can figure that out because they can still go around here, down through that space, and instead of going there, I guess they can go the whole way along. So that's the way we'll do things in that regard. So let's change this road to be a tram road. So the trams come the whole way around. All of this to, I suppose there works. Then we can lower the tram if need be. Alternatively, I suppose we could have it run to there, and if we move the nuclear power plant to there temporarily, of course, we can actually run this tram line like this and then connect it to there. So that provides a bit of a loop. And I think it works. Yeah, the tram lines have some sharp corners. Yeah, they're going to be running behind and between buildings, but I think it's alright. I really do. I think it'll work. So let's just move some of these stops to different positions. I'm going to get rid of that, and we'll also go ahead and move you. So the unfortunate downside of this is that we actually can't add stops to elevated tram lines, because there's obviously no real way for people to get about in that regard. So, for one, what we're going to need to do is take out just all of these stops that we can. So take out just all of the tram stops. I know there's a quicker way to do this, but I want to do it this way because I can ramble a little bit. But there we go. That's the tram lines now sort of gone. So if we get rid of all of these and get rid of that one, are the tram lines now removed? They are, I believe. I think, no, wait, they're not. There's, no, they should be, right? We should no longer have tram lines anywhere but over here, where we should have 2 of them. Yes, we do. Okay. So the tram lines have been removed, which is fine. We obviously can't do a tram stop on an elevated station as such. So I guess what could work is if we get rid of this elevated section here, we can lower it down this way and then raise it back up to go over that road. Lower it here and sort of have it go, I guess it can cross over that road. That'll be okay. So that way we can actually have a stop that will benefit this area. That's what I'm thinking. So if we do this kind of thing and go, I mean, that's 11, that's fine. Then it connects to there. Then we have a little section there. Now this obviously, I mean, that is just bridging up and then straight back down on the other side, but that's alright. So that's 11 there and there. So obviously, you know, that bridge is a little bit strange to have there, let's be honest. The tram would probably be better tunneling rather than bridging over. But we can make that work. So if we go, say, like that, then we go like that, and then raise it back up to connect to there. Actually, let's raise it up a little bit sooner so that the little tunnel section itself is about the same size as the other one. There we go. So the tram can tunnel under there, which I think works. I do. I think it looks excellent. So that's where the tram stop can be. That way people can, in fact, get off of the tram and go around this way. So that'll work. What we'll do is go ahead and add a stop there. So this will be the one that loops the whole way around. We'll have a stop there. And we'll have one not there, because that'll be a bit of a problem. Have one there. Actually, a little bit further up, I think. These ones will sort of serve as the hospital. These ones can stop in front of those guys, and those guys, and those guys. We could add one in there eventually, but we'll just have it loop around like that. So that should be fine. That's tramline number 3. We then want one that comes the whole way down to here. We'll have a stop on that bit and that bit. We'll do there. Then I want this to loop the whole way around in a similar way to what we've done before. So have it stop there and there. We'll do there. We'll not bother with the hospital because this one doesn't really serve as the hospital, and then it loops back to there. So that should be fine. There we go. So that's our 2 tram lines added in. We don't currently have a tram depot, so, you know, we're gonna have to get one of those eventually. We also need to get rid of this particular bit of road, which should be easy enough. Here's my concern. Why? Oh, that does have a turn. Okay. So this little bit of road is going to be changed into that. We'll take zoning off of it for the time being. And I think that'll work. We do have some spaces in here which are going to need some work. We're going to need to get a bunch of buildings in and replace some roads and all that stuff because the zoning is just weird in a lot of spaces. But we can absolutely make a bit of a better looking and better functioning high-rise highway. So let's see what exactly we can do. Okay, so what I've done is I've added in some grass and I've changed up some of the roads on the sides a little bit as well. There used to be a road that ran the whole way through here. That road is now gone. If people want to get from this side of the city, they take this road, they'll go that way, and it'll be a bit of a pain, to be honest, because they have to cross through the high-rise highway, which is actually surprisingly difficult to say, but they will have to cross sort of through it and go that way if they want to get about the city. But I do want to start looking at adding in some buildings again, although I'm going to be a little bit more picky with them, mostly because I want to add in buildings that have a degree of space in front or around them or near them that I can turn into a bit of a plaza, because I want to make a very beautiful and nicely decorated, just open space that we can have here. So this building for a start is, I believe, one that I didn't want to add. I also think that building, I've completely forgot the name of the person, but I think someone tweeted me a picture of the Transco Tower in real life that they actually took themselves. I think they live near it or were near it or something like that, but someone sent me a pic. I've had a few people send me pictures of buildings like that, actually. It's kind of cool. What's that? That's a New York Times building. That's a nice building. I did also get a few new buildings, you might be able to tell. So 60 Wall Street. Can I put that in there? I guess the pillars on that are... That would work if I had it sideways, which I unfortunately can't really do. Does it fit in there? It actually does fit right there, which is nice. I'll give it that. But what I'd rather do, I think, is sort of put it there and then have like a plaza here in front of the building with space sort of leading up to the building. And this space beside it can actually be taken up by, if we go to my Rico mod, which should actually have a few new things in it, I think. I'm not entirely sure. We do have a Texaco gas station. We have Toys R Us. Yeah, I've got a few new things. We also have some new offices, I think. We have this big office building, which actually looks really strange. Look at that. That is a peculiar building. All right. We also have, I mean, Santander Tower I've had for a while. I think this one's new. No, I don't think it is, actually. Is that my only new one? That weird one? No, the Crystal Tower in Madrid is new as well, but is enormous. It is a very nice building, though. That also fits in there really well. Maybe we could do that one. Sort of move the Wall Street building and sort of put this one from Madrid in there. Because it does fit really nicely. It is a huge building, and it would be sort of right at the back of my skyline, which I think would work. So I could also sort of chuck it in there if I really wanted to. It would actually fit perfectly in the middle of that road. Unfortunately, it just overlaps the tram line just a little bit too much, which is just a bit unfortunate. Let's see, where else could we plop this? Again, overlapping my tram line a little bit too much. I think just back there is going to have to do. Maybe there, and I'll put some kind of plaza beside it. I think that works. It is a nice building. Not necessarily the crown jewel of our skyline, but a nice building nonetheless. So let's see, we've got Santander Tower, which, if this menu would stay up, would be excellent. We already have one of those, but I do think I want another one. I do really like this building. Now, would it fit in there? It actually... It would, but it would overlap my tram line, so it can't. Could it fit in there? It still overlaps the tram line, still overlaps the tram line. Could go there. That's actually not a terrible spot for it. But I think it's a little bit too noticeable at the moment, so let's see. What else have we got? We do obviously have the small sort of generic buildings that I like to play with. If that menu could stay up, that would be so... Oh, come on. Come on! Seriously? This menu does not... Right, okay. Thank you. Alright, that was a pain. That was more of a struggle than it should have been. No, this would work quite well there, because it just perfectly borders the tram line. So I think I will go for that. It could actually be interesting to get two of them. That's, I mean, we need to see if they fit, but... I mean, they sort of do, don't they? They sort of fit really nicely beside that, and then that space in the middle could be a plaza. So I think... Is that a Pepsi truck? That is a Pepsi truck. Okay. Okay, so we have a couple of plazas here, which I will admit are pretty bland, but that's kind of the point. They're not going to be the most detailed thing in the world, but I think they do a pretty good job at filling up some spaces. I think they look quite nice, and I am indeed quite happy with how they turned out. I did use a few new assets that I got here and there. These hedges are quite new. These walls are new. The planter's new. And I'm using the... What is this? It's the brush. It's the painting textures mod thing that basically lets you paint textures. So, for example, I can paint gravel. I can paint more gravel. I can paint some concrete. I can get rid of all of that if I really want to, which I kind of like to. And I can paint whatever that is, but unfortunately, that appears to just not be anything right now. I am using a custom map theme, so that's possibly why this is being a little bit strange. But I do think this area looks absolutely beautiful. If I really wanted to, I could go in there and paint up a load of gravel, but it does sort of weirdly overlap certain things. So it's an excellent mod. It really, really is. It just has some weird things that it does, such as overlapping the textures of the footpath there. So we'll come in here and just fill up this space again the way it should be. Now, for some reason, that footpath there is acting a little bit strange. Can I just... No, we're not going to bother with that. Okay. Let's just fix that. There we go. So, that's a couple of open plaza spaces that we have just there. I realize I have, in fact, gotten rid of the power plant completely, and people have been, yeah, not too happy about that. I probably want to just replace it for a little bit. We'll just chuck it down there, I guess. Those trees weren't placed by... Well, I think they might have been placed by me, but I'll get rid of them anyway. There we go. So those trees were indeed placed by me. They are now not placed by me. So there we go. So that should give electricity back to the entire city. A lot of people trying to get into the city from that direction there, which is not entirely great. Quite a few people still using this. Not that many people using this road anymore because most of them are opting to use this one. Hopefully we'll see that get sorted. Hopefully. We should eventually, at least. But it is nice. I think this area works. I like having that building on an angle. I think it looks much better on an angle. So let's go ahead and get the rest of the buildings in here. At least, well, you know, most of them. Not necessarily all of them, but most of them back in here. So I think I want the New York Times building. I think it's quite a nice building, so I could chuck it in. Does it fit there? It does. Okay. So it can go there. It is a fairly hefty building, but it is a nice-looking building nonetheless. So it can stay in there. I think this space here can be some kind of little plaza, and along here I just want some more buildings in general. I might go with the generic buildings that you can get with the Rico mod, but I'm not entirely sure. We do have Redford Tower, which can go somewhere, I think. I don't think I have it placed. No, I don't. So this could go... I mean, it does have its own little parking space there, which, if you ask me, should probably be at the back of the building, so I probably want to find somewhere I can place this, where at least the, even there kind of works. Yeah! You know what? I really like that. I really like that spacing. Works really nicely with the parking lot we have there as well. So let's see. We have Redford Tower placed. I'm not going to bother with either of those. We have the servicing services offices, which have a lot of land around them, which I think I'll skip over. We have this building, which was placed before and could be placed again. I mean, it sort of works there, but I think I'll skip over it for the time being. What is this? This is the Hermes Tower, which I don't know if I had before. This is Aurelia Tower, which we're not going to be placing that. We have the Comio building, which we did have placed before, which actually looks like it fits there kind of perfectly. Let's get rid of the two transport towers there and go ahead and place this one, because it actually works really, really nicely there. It is ever so slightly overlapping that bit of avenue, but I think if I just shuffle things about a little bit, I can make that work. Basically, what I think I need to do is possibly go ahead and downgrade some of these roads, because really, this could probably all be changed. I mean, that is a two-lane road going into a 4-lane road. So what we'll do is change this into a 2-lane road like that. Change this into a 1-lane road like that. So we have that like so, and change this a little bit as well in there. So that can really go back to being a 3-lane road just there, because it doesn't need the 4 lanes anymore. This one is 4 because it splits in a couple of ways, and that's fine. This one can go back to being 3, although I think it needs to go back. Does it need to stay? I guess that one can stay 4. Or it can change. It can change. We'll just have like a couple of turning lanes there or something. That'll be fine. So that gives us a little bit of space. Maybe enough. It might be enough space. Let's see. It is, actually. That is kind of perfect. Okay. Let's go ahead and just extend that forward a little bit. Turn on snapping so it works perfectly. There we go. And the commune building actually works really nicely there. It has a nice big space in front of it. We're not going to need to do too much with this building either because it does have that space. Put a pathway down the side. That can be some kind of park. And we'll put another pathway just down that side linking to that path. And in here we could put maybe just an individual, like 1 transport tower instead of the 2 that we've been doing. Yeah, I like it. I think it works. We can pave some of that space, make it look a little bit better. Even just move that to the side. And, yeah. I like it. I do. Alright, what else do we have to work with? I mean, for one, they have electricity, right? No, they do not. We need something in here. Let's see. So, in this space, we are probably going to want none of these. What is this? That's Blue Rise Plaza, which I did have, didn't I? I quite like Blue Rise Plaza. Can I say that properly? I can't say anything properly. Blue Rise Plaza. There you go. Alright, it could technically go back there. Because it does sort of fit. Yeah, it overlaps that other building, but I mean... It technically fits. I think it's a little bit too much in the shadow of this building, though. So let's see. It could go here. Next to the medical clinic. That's not the worst place for it. I guess what we could do there as well is... If I enable zoning on that road, or even if I don't, I could have a road come off of this and then enable zoning on that. That's probably a better idea. So, have this go to there. Then I need to re-disable zoning on that road and that road. What I'd like to do is use the search box mod, which people have been suggesting for a long time. I want to get a parking space. And I kind of want to put this back here. Or this. Does that fit? Not really. That's close to fitting, but there isn't really a way I can... There isn't really a way I can move that without just fundamentally, like, making this a curve, which I guess technically I should probably do anyway. So let's have a look. We'll make this into a nice big curved section of the tram track just for the hell of it. So what are we looking at here? That looks to be about 12. And that looks... Oh, 15 units and then 9. That works. That's not so bad. It lets us have that parking lot in there, which is kind of important. And what I'll do is fill up this space with some trees or a planter or something. I think a planter could look nice in there. Let's have ourselves a little bit of a look. We have this one, which is a pretty good size. So we'll do one of those there. And I could do a fountain there, but I don't think I really want a fountain. We do have these smaller ones as well, which I think I will hold on to. Bunch of walls, bunch of fountains. I could put a truck there if I really wanted to. Don't think I will. I don't really think we need a truck there. Could do some plants. What's this? That's another kind of regular looking truck. I mean, we could do one of these somewhere, but I really don't think we need it for the sort of proper downtown space. So let's see what we have. Lower the size on you. And I think in this space I'm going to use one of these trees because they do look absolutely beautiful. So there we go. And I think that's okay. I think just the one tree in there looks absolutely fine. So that's Blue Rise Plaza added back to the space. Now for in here, I think we will just... Oh, for God's sake, here we go. I think we will just go with the fairly generic buildings. So I'll put one there, and I'll put one there, which gives us this little gap in between, which I think I'm just gonna put a road into. So this can sort of act as though it's like a turning road, or, you know, it's for those buildings or whatever it is. I could do one in here as well, which I think I'll do, just again to fill up the space and make it look like it is used in one regard or another. So that can go there again. A whole bunch of people wanting to use the trams, which is nice. Do we have electricity to these buildings yet? I don't think we do. But it is definitely cool to see a lot of people wanting to use the trams. Unfortunately, we still don't have anything connecting to a tram station, and that traffic is getting really bad. That's a bit worrying, but we'll get it sorted. I realize the traffic may be getting bad because for a while this whole area got demolished because it didn't have electricity and I didn't have Demand Master on. So that might be what's going on there. But it's a little bit difficult to know. Now for this space, I think what I want to do is get a pathway back there. Then sort of bring the pathway to there. Yep. Then turn on snapping again so it just lines up properly. There we go. And from there to there. And that gives us a nice little square space. I will need to fill in some of that. Let's just go to there, in fact. So like that. So it gives us this little square space, which we can put some trees in, put some planters in, all that stuff, and make just a beautiful zone. Now let's see. We obviously need more tall buildings. We don't have as many of them here as I'd like. So what do we have? We have this red building, which I think I've placed already. John Hancock Tower is actually a nice building. Very nice building. But I have no idea where I would place it. That's the problem. Now it could go there. Sort of. Like that is doable. But maybe it would work best sort of over there. Like if I sort of chuck it in that space. Because then it's got a really thin profile from this angle. And it's got quite a nice big profile from this angle. And it's a different looking building, you know? It's on an angle. It's just a different shape, all that stuff. I think it's really useful to have. This tower I don't think we're going to bother with. I could add another one of these red ones. If I really wanted to. It could look kind of nice in one of these spaces. Let's see. I could chuck it there. I guess that would work. Get rid of that guy. I mean, it's a little bit noticeable, isn't it? Let's see. I really need somewhere to put this. I really do. It kind of fits in there. If it wasn't for those trees and that little bit there, that would almost work. I think it's a little too wide. I think it's just a little bit too chunky to properly work. Okay, so I think we're probably onto something here with the whole high-rise highway thing. We have a lot more space filled up, which is excellent news. Obviously, there is still some work to do here and there. We have empty spaces like this over here, which actually should be getting built up, but for some reason isn't. But what I'd like to do is I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to turn zoning off on that road. So we do that and bulldoze U2. What we can attempt here is actually to sort of go right in the middle of that road and get some fairly equal zoning on both sides, which almost worked there. Perhaps if we go ahead and... Oh no, that'll work. That's the measurement there, so that's the one we need. We need the road to go in that spot. So do that kind of thing. Now we have equal zoning on both sides. We can go ahead and actually turn the zoning off on this road. So that'll now have buildings on either side, which won't necessarily be as big as, you know, they necessarily could be. But at least we'll have more buildings in here. It'll fill up all that space, and it should be pretty good indeed. What I'd also like to do is come in here with just a little bit of a pathway and go like that, so it is actually connected. Then this space at the end, I guess I could do pedestrian paths either way, like that. Nah, there's not much point in that one. We'll get rid of those. What can I put in there? I guess a couple of trees could work. I might as well, you know, get some nice trees in there, fill up the space with a bit of nature, a bit of green. Always looks pretty good. All right, that kind of works. All right, we should probably fix the electricity issue that's going on the other side of the city there, because if we don't, these buildings are going to keep getting demolished and then just keep popping back up, which means people are going to keep driving, like, into the city for the first time, which is kind of causing some issues, as you may have already noticed. So we'll just go from there to there, which will solve all of those issues and stop people from constantly moving back into the city, which is kind of what we want to do. Now, for some, why is that doing that? Have I painted something there by accident? Let's have a quick look. If I go in here with a brush, yes, I have. Okay, was not aware of that. All right, so something we absolutely need in all of this space is actually a new police and fire station, because we don't have one. So what I'm going to do is, for one, we're going to turn zoning off on this little section of road. Then we'll turn zoning on for this section of road, which I'm actually going to upgrade to have some grass on the other side of it. And for one, we can actually go ahead and do that, which will fill up that space quite nicely. Then here, I actually want to try doing maybe just a big police station. We have this, which is a local police department. It's a little bit small, I think. Also doesn't really match the style. But we could add a police station in there. We have the police headquarters here. We have the other one there. Alternatively, let's try saying that again. Alternatively, there we go. We could add in one of the big fire... No, I think we'll go with the police station. I kind of like the idea that it would be right there. I also think, I mean, this one or this one. I think this one looks a little bit more urban, but I want to go with this one just because I really like this one. So we'll chuck it just there. It might actually be possible to move that a little bit closer to there. No, maybe not. Okay, so we'll keep it there. Then what I think I'd like to do is actually put walls around it. So we're going to use the draw line tool. I think we'll just use hedges actually, because they'll look a little bit nicer. So we'll go to there. And we'll lower the spacing on you to be 0, so there's no gap between the hedges. And then if we go to there, I think that works. That looks about even. So, yeah, that's straight enough. That does the job. And then we get the same hedge, and we're going to try and line this up as best we can. So that looks about the middle. That worked perfectly. Look at that. Oh, careful. So we want this to come along. When would that be parallel? Is that... I guess that works. Okay, that'll do. Then one more bit of line, or one more bit of hedge, rather, is the probably the term we're looking for. We want it to sort of go nicely to there. Hopefully that's not too far onto the path. All right. And I guess around the building, I could do some kind of road if I really wanted to. I don't know that necessarily makes sense, but if I really wanted to, I could do it. And I guess I sort of want to. It kind of looks interesting. I mean, if I did that, it's a little bit much. Let's see. For one, we want to turn off zoning. So we want to go like that, then around to there. I mean, even that works. I think that's fine. Because then we can just turn off zoning on the main stretch of road itself. And it's okay. I think that works. I do. It looks like it has, you know, a bit of purpose going on there with that road. Now all we need to do is come in there with the little bit of concrete, which I can probably do this kind of thing with. Yeah, that works. Then go to there. And that's quite nice. So it joins up really well. And I guess around the police station, we could do some trees. Probably not too many. I don't think I want to go completely over the top of these. So I'll just put one of, I think just one of these in the corner. Could look nice. Maybe one there. And then a bunch of shrubs or something. So let's see. Let's go a little bit bigger in the brush and the strength. And just put a couple of shrubs about there if we can get them. Which apparently we can't. So lower the strength. Lower the size. Let me come in there like this and just put a bunch of different shrubs about the place. Like so. Alright. That's not so bad. That's a, it's a nice looking police station. I like it. Now, can we get a building in here? Alternatively, do I have a fairly small park I could put in there? Because land value is an issue around here. We have a dog park, which I don't think we want to do. And I also realize I did turn zoning off on that road, so nothing's going to build there now. Now, is there anywhere I could put an actual park? That's the real question here. I mean, what size is that? Oh, what is that one? That's a large playground. We don't want it. Now, this one would fit there quite nicely. So what we'll do is we'll place that. We'll get rid of that stretch of road and that stretch of road. And instead, we're going to come in here. Why is that a bridge? Seems very strange that that's decided to be a bridge. And for some reason, height is too high there. That's odd, because I would rather that wasn't a bridge. Now that works, I suppose. And that works to that point. But does that actually... I mean, it counts as all those being on roads, I guess. I guess it works. It's a bit weird that it counts it as a bridge, but... I mean, if it's gonna do that, I'm gonna have to, yeah, for some reason it wants to make a bridge there. I guess this is what we're working with, because I can't do anything with this space, because it makes it a bridge. But at least we have the park in there, which will hopefully help some of these guys. Land value seems to be a bit of an issue. Well, too few services as well, but we can fix the services thing shortly. Traffic here seems to be easing up a little bit. This all needs to still clear out, but it will eventually. I do think this all looks a little bit better, though. I really do. I think we have some actual buildings in here. We have a bit of character to some of the roads. We have these plazas in here. I think we've made something that just looks a little bit better. I think it does. It is going to need a little bit more work. We still need to put the trams in, which I might... I guess we should plan out what's going on in this space, shouldn't we? We really should figure that out. So, let's come in here with this bit of road. So I want it to come off of here, because that way it's not just a straight road through there. So I want it to come off of there, then I want it to go 135. Actually, 130 will do. Down to about there. Which I guess is fine. Get rid of some of those trees and take them back from the road a little bit. And then I kind of want this to just run parallel to that road. So is that one... I don't know what the I really don't know what the angle's going to be there. I guess what we'll do is have that just sort of run like that. So something like that, then we get rid of that bit of road, and we want to connect these, which, I mean, that's a connection, it's just not a very nice one. Let's see, can we get a curve in here? Would that work? Yeah, that works, okay. So that comes down. I don't necessarily, I think, I mean, I could connect it to the roundabout. That's possibly a good idea, actually. Let's do, let's do just a sort of regular road here with small oak trees on either side for just a little bit of a distance there. So let's say 5. Then this road sort of needs to curve around, doesn't it? So we need it to go about 12. Approximately, anyway. So approximately 12. Then to there. But I kind of want that to curve in general, because that's an ugly bit of road. Okay. Let's turn on zoning as well, so I can sort of measure this properly. So if I go, say, 5, that is 11. Okay. So I want this to sort of curve up, and then I kind of want this to do an S shape, basically. So up to there, up to about there is 8. So I kind of want this to go like 3 and 4, then like 4 and 4. I guess that works. Sure, that's fine. Okay. That actually worked better than I thought it would, which is surprising, because I didn't think it would work at all, so that's nice. That's a nice change, having things actually work for me. Then this road could sort of just go straight down if I want it to. Although that might cause some issues here and there, so maybe we'll have it sort of go this way a little bit. It obviously can't connect up there because we have the tram line. It could connect down there, which might be an idea. I think what would be smart would be putting a road along here, and also putting a road sort of along there a little bit as well. I really need to, first off, turn off prop and tree anarchy, because it keeps putting trees in my roads, which I kind of don't want. So if I go to there, and I go to there, and we sort of just do that kind of thing, we get a nice little curve there, which is good. We can turn zoning off on the avenue roads, which means that all of our buildings will be sort of backed up. We'll have their backs will basically be facing. Why can I not speak today? They'll be facing out onto the avenue, so that's good. What I'd like to do is continue this road down just a little bit, so to about there, which is excellent. Then we want to repeat those steps from just a moment ago, where we turn off zoning on that road, and we probably want to do the same on this little bit of road here too. So turn that off, and then we continue this down. So there will be a bit of a dead end here, which is okay. So that goes to there. Then we could connect these two. Now that's a very short connection there, so maybe get rid of that and sort of let that flow instead. So that's fine. I guess what we now want to do is kind of the same thing as before. Bring this to, say, there. Or maybe not. Maybe just continue that straight down. We'll leave a gap between the road and everything else, so that can just sort of flow straight down. Okay. So that borders that pretty well. What might be an idea is changing that road into one of these, because that way more traffic can, you know, go on this road, basically. We can handle a lot more traffic with this road, which I think is going to be very important. So, let's just do that. And then I just want to turn zoning off on a couple more roads, such as this one and this one, which gives us a bit more zoning all along there. We probably also want to turn zoning off just there. And that seems fine to me. I'm curious to see if any traffic's going to immediately use that little bit of road there. I mean, if it's technically a quick way out of the city from over here. Yeah, there's a couple of guys using it, so I imagine they're going to be leaving the city. A couple of people using it to get into the city as well. They're turning left, out onto the roundabout. That roundabout is actually a two-way road. I just noticed that. When did I do that? That's, yeah, that's interesting. Well, that's on the wrong side. So that needs to be set to none. That needs to be a small oak tree. And that's possibly why this roundabout has not been working all that well. It's certainly a possibility, because for some reason, I don't know why, but for some reason, it was a two-way road. But at least now the roundabout should work a little bit better. Traffic also seems to be clearing out. There is a bit of a problem with traffic over here, but again, that's because a lot of these buildings got rebuilt. So once people have got to their houses and sort of into the city, the traffic problems will slowly go away. So let's see, how big is the biggest park? It's that one. What if I turn zoning on for this road? If I turn zoning on, can I put that park in there and not have it look terrible? I can. That actually looks spot on, in my opinion. Okay. Next step is going to be getting I think a hedge. I think a hedge would be good along there. So there's a little bit of a hedge just at the back of this to just border it, because we don't want people getting too close to the tram line. That is the last thing we want. So we'll have a hedge there, and we'll have a hedge just starting, say, there, and bring it the whole way along and go to it there. All right. So that seems fine. Can I now just bring up my search box, get rid of you, and search hedge? And I want this one. And does it actually fit between those two? Almost. What we'll do is put it there, and then I'll just put some trees around it to sort of hide the fact that there is that gap. So if I just put a tree there, and I put another type of tree just there, you'll never know. Alright, then maybe a tree at the end as well to hide the fact that it ends right there, and a little tree there as well. That looks fine to me. That is a pretty useful use of that space. That sentence doesn't... That's almost a redundant sentence, to be honest. But yeah, ladies and gents, I think I'm going to leave it there for today. I did say we'd finish all this space as well, but I spent way too long on all of this, which unfortunately has resulted in me recording for 1 hour and 45 minutes. So I don't know how long this episode's going to be. Probably a bit of a long one. But you guys seem to enjoy the longer episodes. So hopefully this looks a little bit better to you. I think it does personally. I've got a little bit more space to fill in with some parks and all that stuff. But I think what we have here does look a bit better. I think it's just, I'm happier with it. Hopefully, you are too. I do just want to have a quick look and see if I can place one of those small buildings, these ones, in there. I mean, technically, yes, I suppose. It does hang over onto the path a little bit, but you can still walk under there, so I'll keep it. It looks alright. But yeah, hopefully this looks a little bit better. There's not as many buildings in the skyline. I think it's still a beautiful skyline, so we've got that going for us. And we do have some parks in there, actual parks as well. We have this space, which is seems to have deleted part of my park. That's kind of annoying. We still have my planters and all that stuff, which is good. We have a couple of cars parked out front of that place. A couple of cars around here. And yeah, I like it. And hopefully you do too. So that's going to be it for today, ladies and gents. Thank you kind of for watching. This has been City Skylines and Emerald County. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.